BTS is coming on the show. Okay, so today is the last test of part 1, Island. They started off the show right off the bat by showing the vote results so far around the world. I must say I was a bit surprised by some of the results, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Islanders proceeded to show their performance, and of course they did really well. Personally, I was really impressed once again by Jae, K, Sunghoon. And I mean, these just are my biases, so obviously I'm going to like them the most. For the first round of eliminations, the Islanders voted within themselves to pick 3 members that should go to ground. It was kind of sad, and I'm sure it was really hard for these members because they practiced really hard together. But the 3 that they chose were Lee Young-bin, Cho Kyung-min, and Chung Jae-bum. These 3, I honestly wasn't too shocked to see them go, just because I felt like their skill never really matched up the other members in Island. Like, it always was hard for them to kind of catch up with the others. One member, again, that the show keeps highlighting over and over again is Chae-seon. This episode made me feel a little bad for him because I realized like a lot of it is kind of editing from Mnet. In this episode, they kind of portray him to like force and pressure the other members to like not vote him out. So I don't know, I just felt kind of bad for him because I realized like, okay, maybe he's not like a horrible, I mean, I'm sure he's not a horrible person. So Chae-seon is like, okay, whew, I made it, I'm still okay. But then we get to the producers. Now, when they were discussing their picks to go to ground, I was surprised to hear that Rain chose Park Sung-hoon, and I feel like P just did that just to like stir some drama because we all know Park Sung-hoon is Island material, am I right? I was surprised to see the ranking. Yang Jong-won got first place in the producers rankings, and lucky for him, he actually was in the center number 5 position of the performance. But then after the producers kind of checked them up, they decided, okay, actually Hee-seung, the ace of Island, will go and replace Yang Jong-won as center. And this actually ended up being a really good choice for Yang Jong-won because he ended up really perfecting the moves for the new position that he took on. And wait a minute, K getting 11th place? Obviously the producers know what they're judging and they know their performers and whatever, right? They have the experience, I get it. But I thought K did really well. Like, him being in 11th place is it just didn't make sense to me. And of course, it's because he was sick and he wasn't in his best condition. But 11th place, 11 out of 12 was a little too harsh. Anyways, luckily the producers do not choose K or Yang Jong-won, but instead they choose Eiju, EJ, he goes by I think, Chae-seon, and Lee Gon-woo. I was a little sad to see Lee Gon-woo go. He's a definitely strong singer, but I feel like this performance was definitely one of his weakest performances. It was, of course, a very emotional goodbye within the Islanders. A lot of them cried. I mean, I think all of them cried, but one person that kind of stuck out to me was Jae. Jae is such a softie, you know? Like, he seems so hard on the outside, but inside he's soft. It was really precious to see him like bawling. It was really cute. But yeah, so even though the ground has been practicing this dance, the 6 Islanders who got voted out joined the grounders, and now this whole group of 16, they have to redistribute the parts to include the Islanders that got voted out. A lot of these parts are really short just because there are 16 people in the group, so we see very short snippets of each member. And the performance was good. I personally think it's kind of easy to pick out the 6 who should stay from this group. I feel like by this point we all have seen their talent, their performances, their capabilities, their personalities, and so it's pretty easy to kind of like weed out the people that we don't think will make it to Island Part 2. The people who I think will or should survive are Konu, Taki, Sonu, Nikki, Daniel, and Nicholas. I wasn't even really watching the performance. I just thought of people who I thought should survive. and I wrote these names down without even seeing the performance, and there were 6. So then, and after I watched the performance, I was like, okay, yeah, this set of 6 will still not change for me. And based on the votes that we've seen so far, I feel like Hanbin has a pretty good chance because he has the support of like all of Vietnam. But I don't know, we'll see because the vote is in our hands. We have until August 2nd to keep voting for the grounders who we think should go to part 2. We don't have to worry about the 6 that have already been chosen by the producers. Thank the Lord KJ, Sungwoon are in that group. And then this episode ends with a huge announcement. BTS is coming on the show. 8/14. August 14, next week. We don't know too much about 8/14, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that BTS is appearing on the show in 2 weeks as, who knows, like mentors. I really hope that all of the members will come out because that would be freaking crazy. I think that's gonna kick off part 2, and only the top 12 members who get chosen will be able to meet their idols. I'm so excited to see what will come in the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna be voting every single day until August 2nd. We only have 2 more days, I believe. I'm really curious what the world will choose, but yeah, part 2 is just gonna be even more epic because we're gonna have amazing producers and mentors, hopefully BTS, and this is gonna be the group that really will be the best of the best. Let me know what your thoughts are on 8/14 and this episode, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye now.